There we go. It did end. Hey guys, we were like contemplating when does this intro end? How's everyone doing, guys? I'm Minnie May, and I am the only one drinking, so I'm really upset today. No, but yeah, I'm Minnie May, and to my right is
Me, I think.
it is you.
It is? Yeah. All right, cool. So I'm the Innocent Greenhouse going, guys. Tonight I am enjoying a tall glass of City Cola.
Fancy word for Sprite.
Mm.
And then
Hi, there at the bottom all by myself. I'm Lady Bathory, and tonight I am waiting for my drink to get to me. I'm not drinking anything because I got the 6 again, but I'll be fine.
make sure she pronounces that properly. She got sick
The
again.
6. Sick. Sick.
Sick.
Sick again.
Sick. The sicknesses. I'm down with the
Sickies.
sickness.
And I am
we
so.
go.
Ooh, what are you drinking?
Hydration water H2.
Oh, H2O. Okay, and I'm so excited to announce. I literally was the last saying, I tweeted it, and I didn't think they would respond, but they did. So, guys, please help me welcome SidAlpha.
Yes. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am SidAlpha, and apparently I get the passed out in the back room somewhere. Oh,
No,
there's
you
a guest
don't.
window. There's a delay there. I'm perfectly fine with a passed out in the back room window. That's that just reminds me of my teenage years. But yeah, I got a tweet out to the blue, and I'm like, you know what? I really don't feel like working hard today. Yeah, let's do it. So.
Yay. He's in IT. So yeah, so tell us about yourself. So you obviously work in IT, as Golden Icon has just informed us.
Yep. My day job, I work in IT as a project manager for an IT consulting firm, and it's we have about 24 people working here, and we have about 150 clients, about 250 servers, and over 3,000 workstations.
Oh wow.
And yeah, it causes me no end of grief because I ended up working last week. I ended up working for 40 hours straight, 2 days. And then this week, just on Monday, I ended up working for 29 hours straight. So it's been a bit of a tough month for me. But then I also have my YouTube channel where I do a lot of industry commentary, gaming news. Occasionally, when I can get around to it, I manage to push out the occasional review. But yeah, that's me. I'm here. Hello.
Hello. So what got you into it? Obviously, I've watched a few of your videos. I thoroughly enjoy it. I love how like when you review these games, you're not biased. You cover everything, and then at the end you say, "This is my opinion on it." I love it. But like, what got you into it?
Actually, what got me into that format was I was being snarky. That's basically all it was. I had a lot of people commenting they were frustrated because they couldn't tell what was factual and what was my opinion. Because usually I would talk through the list, talk through everything, and kind of offer some running commentary as I went through. But so I decided, you know what, I'm gonna be kind of a dick. And I'm just gonna, okay, here's your facts, and if you want to stop watching now, you can. And then
Yeah.
everyone who actually wants my opinion, keep listening. And then it actually formed up into a solid format because I realized, yeah, I was kind of being frustrated, but it ended up being a really good thing because people, a lot of the times people are, they're listening in their cars, they're listening in on their phones on their lunch break and stuff like that. And so, they're not necessarily watching the screen, and they're not watching the visual information. Sometimes they're just listening. And so because of that, they're a lot of times they're not quite sure what's, being injected and what's actually factual. So I think that clear delineation gives them some better perspective, and it's ultimately it's more respectful for people and their intelligence because it allows them to make their own informed opinions without kind of pushing mine onto them.
Yeah. No, totally agree. I always believe that we should understand everyone's point, but doesn't mean we have to agree with it. And that's what I get from your videos. Like, you're trying to make people understand what's happening without forcing them to agree with you.
And I have a lot of people that follow my channel that do not agree with me, but they respect that I try to keep my opinion out of the information aspect, and they really like that. So
No, I agree.
makes me happy. Something that started out as a somewhat negative turned into a positive. I enjoy that.
No, it's awesome. Do you also do Twitch or anything, or is it just content reviews and stuff?
I wish I could. I actually did stream there for a while. But my ISP turned into absolute garbage. I actually have, out where I live, the internet service is exceptionally limited. And right now, my main primary house internet is 24x1 bonded DSL. So 1 meg upload, you can imagine, isn't exactly the greatest for even thinking about streaming. So I was actually using cellular data, but the tower got so overloaded that the connection was so unstable that you can't, the bandwidth is there, but the latency is too high. So you just can't stream from there. I'm working towards getting set up in an office, but again, that costs money.
Yeah.
and that's something I don't have much of right now because I'm not a super massive channel. I don't have millions of followers and everything. I say just 92,000, but yeah, just 92,000, and that's not enough to support support having a teenage daughter with special needs and being able to maintain office space on top of it.
Yeah. That's amazing. So what your reviews is actually what brought you into the show today. So because I really wanted to talk about, I know I'm a little late bringing this into the show. It was just we had different topics last week, but we want to talk about the Take-Two company and 2K gaming developers sending private investigators to Supmatto's house. So if you guys don't know, Supmatto, I'm just going to cover it. If I do something wrong, Sid, just tell me like I'm saying something wrong. But basically what happened was 2K Games was trying to do an integration with Twitter, and what they were doing is they showed something, and Supmatto and some other streamers noticed that they had a stream name. So what they did, they found that stream name and saw that multiple other people were following that were actually privately streaming Borderlands 3. And they took the thumbnails of Twitch, which you guys know is like a picture that refreshes over time. They took that and revealed Borderlands 3 and what it will look like, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the most part.
For the most, yeah, you can definitely fool it. So basically, I know they've been apparently they claimed they were investigating him prior, but that is what drew this whole big thing that he apparently did something illegal, even though technically he didn't because he was reviewing an artwork, he wasn't just posting it. But Sid's going to take over and he's going to paint the picture a little bit better than I do.
Yeah, so basically what's going on there's two different main focuses on this. One is all of the leaked information before this Twitch integration and everything they were talking about. That was before Borderlands 3 was even announced at PAX. And they were focusing on Supmatto even back then, 10 months ago, they said. And then the Twitch integration came around and they announced that in a video on YouTube. And in that YouTube video that Gearbox put out, they accidentally showed the Twitch username that they were using for that test. And so that got out on Reddit and Twitter and everywhere else. And Supmatto and his little group caught on to that, and they went and took a look at the account. And that account was actually followed by all the other randomly generated accounts that were used for testing the Twitch integration. And so they followed those accounts so they would at least receive notices when those accounts were live on Twitch. And it's important to note that with the thumbnail preview and everything, with a privated stream on the browser version of Twitch or the Windows installation of the app, it doesn't show the thumbnail for private streams, but it does on, or it did on the mobile version of the app. So they would sit there when those streams were live, and because Twitch will update that thumbnail every couple of minutes with what's happening now within the stream, and it's not supposed to do that with the private streams, but it was. That was Twitch's fault. And so they would collect those, and they would analyze them and discuss them and everything like that. So there's a big, huge controversy right now between the leaked information and also the Twitch thumbnails, whether it was private information, whether it was public. A lot of people misunderstanding the differences between the two, how they got the information, how they got it matters. It's convoluted, to say the least.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So before we carry on, what do you guys think so about the information use? So do you think that, personally for me, this is my opinion, I think that Take-Two were kind of stupid in not covering such important detail in their video prior. They kind of asked for it, and people researching further with that Twitch name. And that the fact that Matt dug in so deep to it, like he probably didn't have to, but the fact, I don't think he did too wrong. Like he went the extreme to get it. Like he had to go to mobiles, he had to search it all, went live, and then obviously Twitch failure with the mobile thing. So I feel like every party in this issue has a little bit to blame. Obviously Twitch with their mobile thingy, Take-Two with their lack of security with the name, and then obviously Matto for going that extra distance to get something that was, I guess, meant to be private.
Right, but then 2K and Take-Two's response to this has been very much out of proportion. They've gone basically scorched earth on him over it. They filed over 100 DMCA takedowns. His channel's gone, or if it's not down yet, it will be within the next couple of days.
Yeah, I tried to search it. It's not on YouTube anymore.
Okay, so they did take it down. So that 7-day time frame that myself and Legacy Killer HD had ended up being accurate, unfortunately. And I don't think Supmatto is going to fight this too much. I think his will to fight has basically been destroyed. I think they buried him under the weight of a multi-billion-dollar corporation gunning for you. And that can be an extremely daunting thing, even if he were to win a legal battle, it would be long, it'd be costly, it'd be expensive, and he has a family
he can't afford it,
too.
What do you think about it, Lena?
I just think it's a bit crazy. Yeah, I mean, but if I didn't know that you could stream privately on YouTube.
It's Twitch.
Oh, it's Twitch. But
okay.
But you can't stream privately on Twitch either.
No, you can.
You can.
Yeah, you can.
You can do it's like a test stream, I think.
Yeah, so you can do test streams.
You just change your key. You change it like in the settings on your dashboard, so then it doesn't like notify people that you've gone live and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we've done it for like test purposes.
But then why would you even do that? I mean, for
they were doing it to get an integration.
This game, that's what I'm trying to get at.
I think
what they were doing is they were testing out a Twitch integration app for their game.
Okay.
So, when someone opens up a loot box or something, or a crate full of guns and stuff inside the game, the Twitch app will actually show the viewers, they'll be able to go in and drill down and look at all the individual stats of all the different items and stuff like that. There's a bunch of stuff. It's actually pretty cool when you think about it. But they were streaming privately, so they could test that integration with Twitch without people just stumbling on the streams, which people did anyways because they let the information loose.
Exactly.
But then wouldn't that be a little bit of Twitch's fault?
It is absolutely Twitch's fault because it was a bug in Twitch's system. They were basically broadcasting information that they weren't supposed to be broadcasting.
Yeah.
And Lady, what do you think?
I think, within terms of human curiosity, you can't really blame anybody for digging where they're not supposed to. Anybody and everyone will do it.
I mean, I would.
Yeah,
Take
right?
Without
Two's
hesitation, I would. Yeah.
Take Two's way of dealing with this is absurd, though. I don't think that sending guys in suits and a private investigator is the way to go to try and not just intimidate somebody, but to rattle their feathers. Because I mean,
But
fuck,
it
I don't even want to
worked.
imagine. Like I watched what's this YouTuber's name that you watch? What's it? Young that
Young,
guy?
yeah.
Yes, yes. I watched his video when my husband told me about it, and he says that the way that Matt did was he didn't actually know that when PIs rock up at your door that you're supposed to, like, you don't actually have to say anything to them. You have a right to a lawyer, and he didn't feel at the time that he had anything to hide. But I mean, what is how would you feel if someone just fucking rocks up at your door and then just like pesters you for information, all because you're just going on some leaks that wasn't even your responsibility that it got leaked in the first place? I think they just sort of like targeted him.
Mm.
And I just think that the way that they did it, it wasn't cool. But I
Yeah,
mean,
well, with the private investigators, there was also the other aspect of things that 2K and Take Two were trying to get the bottom of is they were trying to, yes, it was intimidation and it was harassing behavior because they did that specifically because they wanted to find out who was leaking the info. They
yeah.
wanted to know who Supmatto's source was because whoever it is breaking all kinds of NDAs left and right, and so they want to find this person to stop the leaks and to
Get
exact
to
whatever
get
sort
to
of
the
you know
get to the bottom
remunerations they
of
can
it.
get from them,
Mhm.
because these leaks, they happen all the time in the industry, but these leaks do cost these companies money. They cost them a lot of money because they have multi-million dollar marketing campaigns that are all designed along the specific purpose of generating hype and getting people to pre-order and getting people in day one sales without waiting for reviews. And any leaked information will kind of deflate some of that hype that they have planned out with their advertising campaign. So it makes their advertising campaigns less effective, which results in fewer pre-orders and fewer day one sales. And
It's,
that's what they're trying to prevent.
it just compromises everything.
But I think at the end of the day, I don't know if you guys know, but there's a campaign now started that's about supporting Matto. And
Boycott.
it's a
Boycott.
boycott, exactly. And
Yeah,
obviously
boycott
it's
Borderlands.
and obviously it's not gonna do like Borderlands is still gonna release. They're still gonna have people that buy. But I feel like there's just been so many games that have been attacking content, not attacking, I shouldn't say, but like bringing content creators down for like doing what their livelihood or something, and I feel like a lot of games ignore what us as the player base want from the game and what we need. Like look at Escape from Tarkov. Don't hate me. I know that's a really touchy
Oh,
subject.
I've gone rounds with those developers more than
Yes,
once.
I used to be with Black Site, and I did not want to do Escape from Tarkov because I did my research on the dev, and I was like, I can't be a part of that. So yeah, there's Escape from Tarkov. Obviously Take Two, and Please 1013, which is something we're going to talk about later on. But like, I feel like this is something we need to do as a community: is fight these big multi-million companies and show them that without a there's certain ways that should be done, and this is not okay. What do you guys think? You think I'm cool?
Well, the thing of it is, a lot of people are saying with the boycott Borderlands, a lot of people saying this won't do nothing. All you're doing is shorting yourself the game. Good job, you owned yourself and stuff like that. But of course, the game is still going to be wildly successful, but it won't be as successful as it
Yeah.
otherwise would have been. And that's very important, especially when you're dealing with large AAA industries, because it's kind of like churning around a super tanker. It takes a mile just to turn a couple of degrees. And that's very much a similar concept when you start boycotting games for actions like this, behavior like this, it is a very slow snowball effect that eventually will force them to change the course. It'll force them to change direction. It'll force them to start rethinking their actions moving down the line in the future. And it will never, because a lot of people are like, you're never going to be able to bring down Gearbox or 2K or anything like that. That's not the point. That's not the intent. The intent is to make them realize that their actions are a problem, and it will end up costing them money. And the goal is to make these actions, destroying a YouTuber over some leaked information, more of a profit loss than leaving him alone and not destroying his life.
Yeah. So why do you think they did it though? Like, why do you think Take-Two did such a drastic thing? Was it for publicity to show? Was it to make a stand? Or was it some people in the company just made a really goddamn awful decision that really backfired?
Well, Take-Two has a history of this sort of thing. They've sent private investigators to people's houses before over very inconsequential things. They're a very litigious company. They're very vitriolic when it comes to that sort of thing. And I think it comes from a standpoint of a couple of different aspects. One is company policy for dealing with things like this. The second is I don't think they expected the Supmatto situation to blow up like it did. Because you have to remember, he had like 137,000 subscribers on YouTube. That's, in the grand scheme of things, he's a nothing YouTuber. Even though he has like 50,000 more subscribers than I do, he's still a nothing YouTuber in the grand scheme of things. And because of that, they thought probably nothing would come of it, and they'd just be able to bully him and steamroll him and do all that. And then all of the publicity started coming out, larger channels like Legacy Kill HD, Upper Echelon Gaming, Young Yeah. And so there's, a much larger spotlight being put on this. And that's when they started, let's go to IGN and have an interview with them and start talking to our good old friends at the traditional games media sites. And that's where they start painting the picture of, well, what he did was illegal and stuff. And they start doing PR and damage control and everything like that. That's how they've operated in the past. That's how they're operating now.
But they did admit that they did it. They say that they've been investigating and all that, right? So they did own up to it.
They've been investigating for 10 months. They did admit that they sent PIs to his house.
Yeah, and they did have 6 lawsuits, right? But then they pulled out 5, or was it 7? They pulled out 6. Or something.
There were 7. Initially, there were 7 takedowns. They reversed 6. So probably what they did was they pulled down 7, reviewed them, and then put them back up when they realized there was fair use there.
Okay.
Which is actually still a violation of the DMCA. If they did that way, they were violating the DMCA. And then after that, they filed 63 DMCA takedowns, and then later that number jumped up to 112 at last check.
Yeah.
So they decided to go after him hard.
Wow.
It's ridiculous. Someone in chat, sorry, Dwarven Hobble, I was actually going to get to that. When IGN did the interview, I noticed that it was a lot from Take-Two side, and there wasn't much on Supmatto. Was it because he didn't want to talk to them, or were they just not interested in actually getting his side of the story?
No, they never reached out to him. They were not interested in his side of the story at all. They were all they were doing was they were covering the statements from 2K. And their own impressions. And we could get into a huge debate over games journalists and their preponderance for backing the publishers and developers in the industry over the littler guys. But I think that's more of a sidebar argument. But yeah, the IGN article was very much one-sided. They didn't get Supmatto's take on things. They actually outright lied in that article at least 2 times that I'm aware of.
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of gaming journalists, to be honest. I'm really not.
I'm not either.
Let's not bring up the Call of Duty incident. Oh no.
What happened with the Call of Duty?
It's too violent and graphic. There was like
Okay.
a whole
Violent and graphic.
There was a whole issue with that. The trailer was just too much. Ugh, even though that is what we've been craving for. Sorry, we're getting off topic, but like I'm so fucking amped for that game.
I would show that journalist Doom and then ask him what they think of that.
Great game. So now we're onto this. I love this topic. I would talk more, but I want to jump into the next one because I've been listening to this topic for a really long time. So I don't know if you know this, Sid, but I'm actually friends with Big Fry. So I know what's been happening with this Police 1013 thing, and I find it absolutely hilarious. I know it's serious, like some of the parts are hilarious, but I just feel like the way it is like escalated is just it's so in my mind like it's so immature and it's ridiculous that this guy's an adult.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's just grown so ridiculous. You can't help but laugh.
Right?
You really can't.
So let me fill you guys in. So Police 1013 is what's their developer name again? I can't. It's
Matt Norman.
not Matt Norman. What's the? Don't they have a full name, a company or something, or is it just?
Wingman Games.
Wingman Games. Yes, that name. So Wingman Games has basically been developing this game for 7 years, and honestly, to me, it's just like a utility like filler or whatever. It's like there's nothing to show for it. They have 7 years, and there's just not been anything solid, you know. So Big Fry TV, he's on YouTube and he's actually in chat right now. You guys can go click and follow him. He's really great. And SidAlpha, and was it Durag? Was he another one that was covering it a lot?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So they were covering the game, and I don't know what you guys, but they basically just said that this game has had 7 years. There's not much going on. Da 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 da, and things started escalating to the point where the developer Matt decided to say that some of the viewers were attacking him, and there was some cases where some viewers were saying some things that were very inappropriate, saying he should die from cancer, that bad things should happen to his family, which is going to lead to my other topic after this, but. But it was vice versa. I'm pretty sure there were some people who supported Police 1013 that were attacking you. Am I correct?
Attacking me?
Well, like attacking your content or saying like this is like I don't know if was it just as extreme from both sides, or was it
not directed at me personally? No, there was one person that I know of that was that tried to sneak into my Discord after bad mouthing me and bashing me on another YouTuber's Discord. But Big Fry TV actually got a pretty big brunt of extreme supporters for Police 1013 that went after him, calling him all kinds of names, wishing all sorts of ill towards him, unsubbing from his channel because of Matt Norman's lies and misrepresentations. And yeah, Big Fry got a huge chunk of that. I was just standing over here in the corner going, no, everybody's fine with me. Okay, great. Yeah. Awesome. But no,
so it's just like, Fry, you can take it, Fry. You got this, Fry. Throwing you some boxing gloves. But this is not the first time, though.
I'm here. I got my boxing gloves strapped on, and then nobody came. So
we love you, Fry. Fry's in chat right now. I don't know if you guys can see it, but Fry, we know. But this isn't the first time Fry has got a lot right. Because the thing is, Fry is that person. That's why I love watching Fry's videos. He is honest. Like, he doesn't take shit. He's like me. Like, I've been burned by so many games where I'm just like, there's no point hiding anymore. If you look like a scam, I'm gonna call you out on it. So that's what Fry does, and a lot of people don't like it. They don't like his honesty, and they do attack him a lot for it. Anyway, so Matt,
they do.
Yes.
They absolutely do. But the problem is he's right, and that's what they really hate.
And they can't fight it because he's right. So what happened was now Matt pulled out the game. Was it a week ago this happened where he pulled the game out of production and said that and he named Big Fry TV and SidAlpha for the reason him bringing down his game. I don't have the quote.
Yeah, that was in a YouTube video, a 15-minute long YouTube video.
Yeah, I didn't even finish watching it. He has a horrible voice. I just want to point out. Like, I was listening to him and I was like, this is boring. I really don't care. I'll wait for Sid or Fry's response to it, then I'll watch.
Yeah, Big Fry's response to that video was amazing, by the way. But his video was 15 minutes of basically, I am the trodden on. I am the one that has been berated and harangued and harassed and maligned, and it was all because of Big Fry TV and SidAlpha, especially Big Fry. Why I can't continue, why none of this will ever come to be. We're stopping development and all that stuff. And these two men are the worst people in the world. And, I also dare them to dox themselves and reveal their identities so they can see what it's like. And it was a cornucopia of madness is what it was.
It was funny. I
And
loved going on
then,
Twitter and watching it happen.
oh my God. And then so much come that he's basically, you have to understand, Matt Norman is bipolar, and you can very much see that in his actions over the past couple of weeks. So he posted that video announcing that the game was being taken down. He deleted the Discord server or privated it and kicked everyone out. I'm not sure which. I
And
think
he's
he
stuck on
deleted it.
Facebook, right? He
And
deleted everything. He said, "I'm just going to stick to Facebook."
yep. And then he announced on Facebook too that he was canceling the game. He updated the description on the video to directly attack Big Fry before he ended up deleting the video. And then a couple of days after that, he made another Facebook announcement that, yeah, the game's back on. We're full steam ahead, raring to go,
Yeah.
charge,
Ugh.
heads in a good place. Like, yeah,
Yes.
it's beyond insane. And he's still continuing. Even
Yes.
there was new stuff coming
You
out
got
today of
today.
him
I was about to say because I
continuing to
know you
attack
got
Big Fry over it.
emails. I know you guys got emails recently. I don't know if it was today or the other day, but you got emails saying if you do not bring down the Police 1013 videos, your YouTube channel will be reported and taken down.
Yeah, Big Fry and Durag both got those emails. I
You
did
didn't get
not,
one? Oh,
oddly
what?
enough.
Damn,
No.
Sid. What are you doing? Are you like
Well,
paying him off, sucking him down? What are you doing
I'm
to get out of this?
sorry. I'm sorry. No, I've actually been working on my video regarding this whole situation, but
yeah.
I think the recap before this situation even hit is over 20 minutes long at this point. There's just so much information to go through. And there, of course, there's more coming in every day. So I'm going to have to find a hard cutoff to stop. Otherwise, it's going to be an hour plus long video, and it'll just be a documentary on Wingman Games and Matt Norman. And then
It'll be
if that's the
posted on
case, maybe
HBO.
I'll do a crowdfunding for it or something.
So, Lady and Luna, so you've heard some fronts of this, like the drama that's been going back and forth.
Sure.
So
It's like high school all over again.
it is. I went to an all girls school, and I just need to tell you this: we were not as sabotaging and dramatic as this whole thing has been. Like we would go and mix it. You guys remember? I don't know if Mix It was in America.
Yeah,
We would go
I
and mix it and make like this little subtle title, like status. Bitch, better watch out. That was like the highest thing we ever did. Y'all be sending freaking legal suits to each other. But there was also an incident. I don't know if it was one of your viewers. I know it wasn't one of Fry's. He did say that one of the viewers had actually gone in and taken down the website. Was it?
Oh, that was a viewer of a third YouTuber. I can't remember his name offhand. I'm basically wandering around in a conference room right now, so I can't look it up. Big Fry knows who it is. Maybe
Fry, can you
put
post it in
for me.
chat?
But yeah, I was a viewer of his that threatened to DDoS the Project Blue Line website, and that YouTuber actually specifically asked them BZ the King. Thank you, Big Fry. BZ the King. His viewers was threatening to do that. He specifically told him, "Don't do that," and he went and did it anyways. And so Matt Norman, of course, blamed the YouTuber because that's what he does. Whenever anyone says anything bad about him, well, you're a viewer of this person, so it's this person's fault.
Yeah.
Guilt by association, because we're basically the faces. We're the ones providing the information, and that's what he really hates. And that's one thing that you see with developers like these. They want to be in the shadows. They don't want to be seen. They just want to sit back, collect money, because Matt Norman hasn't been working on his game. Other people have been working on his game for him. They recently quit. He's basically been doing whatever the hell he wants, from what I've been led to believe. And he personally has had very little investment in his own game that has supposedly been worked on for all this time. And he doesn't want that. He wants to be able to continue collecting money. And he can't do that if people are aware of what he's doing.
Yeah. So, Luna, what do you think of the situation so far, in depth? Do you this is the topic I really wanted to get to. Do you that's what Matt is attacking is what Sid mentioned is these viewers have been doing stuff and saying stuff, but he's getting the brunt of it. Not as much as Fry, apparently. Sid's just hiding off in the back here. But
no, Big Fry's definitely been getting the lion's share.
So Fry's taking a lot of the hits. Sid's been taking a lot of hits. And do you think them and all of us as content creators are responsible for our viewers out of our chat?
Out of our chat, I don't think so. We can't control them.
Hmm.
You know?
Because you can tell them, like he said, BZ the King said, don't do it. The fact that he did it anyway, you can't blame BZ. He said don't do it, and it's out of his hands. He's not like he knows who this guy is. It's not like he can go
Yeah.
to him, you know. Lady's giggling. Yeah, what do you think, lady?
It's like telling somebody the paint is wet, don't touch it.
Yeah.
What do? They
And
touch it
Smear it
anyway.
everywhere.
I'm not their mother. They're not my children, you know. It's like
Cullen,
I
I
can't be held
agree.
responsible for what someone says somewhere else. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's not in
Yeah,
my
now
channel.
it would be different if anyone said, if anyone directly weaponized their audience, if anyone was trying to like go do this thing, something like that, that would be very different. That would be a call to action. That would be direct mobilization of your viewer base, and that's a terrible, terrible thing. That's things like Big Fry and myself. We tend to take great steps and great pains to avoid doing exactly that because, we're not super massive channels, but we're not tiny either. And we
Yeah.
know that if
You
we
guys are
did something like
mediocre.
that, there's yeah, pretty mediocre. If we did that though, there would be hundreds and hundreds of people that would do that, and that's a terrible thing. I know how frustrating it can get when like I made kind of a dry dig at Young, this weekend, and people hated that, and so I had it was probably just 50 or 60 people that were pissed off, but they were so pissed off. It felt like just this monumental wave dumping down on me. And
Mm.
it was very, very difficult. Imagine, several hundred people doing that or several thousand people doing that. It can, it can get overwhelming pretty damn quick. And so that's why we try to avoid doing that. But, as all the steps we take and stuff, we can't control people, can't prevent them from doing that if they want to go do that. We can tell them not to, we can ask them not to, we can ask nicely, we can, call people out for saying and doing terrible things, but at the end of the day, it's still their decision.
Yeah. I had a question. Oh, do you think Matt is serious about reporting you to YouTube?
Yes.
But they don't have anything on you, right? Isn't because I watched your video. I watched
No,
Fry's
but
video.
see, the thing is, that doesn't matter because you have to remember defamation and harassment and stuff. YouTube make their own determination in that. They don't follow legal definitions. They don't care about the law or whatever country you come from and stuff.
Because you've mentioned that
They
before.
in their rules, they state that they make their own determination on that. So I actually had was it last year before, Andrew Watt, which was one of the more famous dirty devs I had. He was actually the original. He kept on filing defamation complaints against my videos. And one of them actually stuck, and that video was not viewable in the UK for a period of 3 months, and YouTube upheld it. And it wasn't without the help of a trusted flagger at YouTube working on behind the scenes that defamation complaint was eventually overturned. The YouTubers have almost no power in that regard. So if a defamation complaint gets filed and it's upheld, then that video is not going, well, first off, it won't do what Matt Norman thinks it'll do. It'll just mean that that video won't be viewable from oceanic servers. That's
So it'd still
basically
be
it.
viewable, but not for certain. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But there's no they can't shut down your YouTube. Because no offense, if your guys' YouTube goes, I'll be actually really upset. Because like I said, Sid, your voice is like the highlight of my day, and Fry's like one of my best friends on over Twitch and stuff. I can't not watch his videos. I love watching his videos. They're freaking hilarious. But he can't take them off, right? Give me that.
No, he can try. The worst thing he could do is he could directly attempt to abuse the DMCA and try and force the videos down through false copyright complaints.
Okay.
And that will, of course, basically, these YouTubers know quite well, as do I, that you file a counterclaim, Matt Norman will write out the clock, and then the video will go back up, and no strike will be received.
Yeah.
And if he wants to pursue that legally, that counter notification is basically me saying, this video is fair use. You want it taken down, sue me. that's his next step.
Yeah.
Would be then he would have to resort to legal action, and he would lose so bad.
Hey, he's got
It's
the
people
money.
not
He's
even
been
a
sitting
question.
on it for 7 years. He's got the money, apparently. He hasn't been doing anything for 7 years. But you've also
Oh, that money's gone. Trust me.
But I know that some devs and mods have left, and they said it's because of what Matt does on social media and the way he talks,
Yeah.
the way he handles situations. For me, I would not work for a man like Lena. Would you work for a guy that posts like a child in freaking high school? And not even like, I'm sorry, that's like not even girl drama is as bad as what man is doing. This is just petty, like despicable, immature pettiness. Would you work for him? No, I
Do
would quit
people
too.
not have anything else to do with their time?
No, he's been sitting on his ass for 7 years. I guess he doesn't. He's got bored. Oh God, he's gonna hate us. But it's fine. We're not as big as Sid and Fry, so we're fine. We can say this stuff. But I wish I had some of the stuff to show you. But like even the utility that he has posted in Fort Police, it just looks like it's just fillers. It's nothing solid about the game yet. So now that he's going back
No,
in
the
development,
vast majority of content he's posted is actually Unreal Engine.
yeah,
asset
it's like
packs.
it's not even like created from his team. It's literally just bought stuff. Or maybe even just the free stuff you get on like hey, try this one, like the advertising free stuff. But
We actually do have a screenshot where Matt Norman was reminding his developers of the it was either weekly or monthly free packs from Unreal to keep their eyes on those and grab those so they can use them.
oh my God.
Nice.
So I know that Fry, correct me because you're in chat. I can actually ask this. He blamed you for like converting the mods and devs to leave the game. That's what he said or something like that. But then there's like proof that they actually came to you and said that no, we're leaving because of Matt. But Matt is like stuck on the fact that the game is not developing because of you and Fry. Do you really think he's going to start developing it properly now that he says it's back on? Do you think anyone's even going to work
No.
for him? I wouldn't want to
No,
work for him
no.
after seeing this.
Basically what he's going to do is he's going to try and continue on what he already has, rope in other developers to get to work on the project for him, because he honestly, I don't think he even knows how to program a game. I really don't. He says he went to college for it, but I absolutely do not believe that. And he'll continue to rope people in, and he's actually trying to get an Epic exclusive contract is what he's shooting for. He's thirsty for that because the Epic exclusive gives you a big cash infusion up front, and the Epic exclusive contracts gives a game a guaranteed number of sales. So if they don't meet those sales, Epic makes up the difference, which means he is set for a specific amount of income, and then he can use that to hire people, do whatever. He might end up coming out with a game. I highly doubt it. He'll probably just take the money and piss off.
Sorry, I had to.
But yeah, the chances of that game actually reaching a playable state, to my mind, are infinitesimally small.
The Misfit test subject, he mentioned Durag. Was Durag the guy that had his Discord shut down because of it? Or something with his Discord that happened?
I hadn't heard anything about Durag's Discord being shut down.
I don't know.
I know Matt Norman shut his.
Oh, is it his
Yeah.
Discord? Oh, okay. I thought something happened in Durag's Discord. I don't know what it was. I can't. No offense, guys. I'm on 4 hours of sleep and wine. I'm like,
Yeah, he shut down his own Discord to get rid of the trolls, in heavy air quotes, and which to his mind, troll is anyone who has a differing opinion than him. And then he started up a new Discord server where he's basically just allowing in his supposed PR people and his sycophants.
So he threatened to do it. See, Matt is one of those guys that's just like, I'm gonna do this if you do that. It's like, no, you're not. You can come at me, bro. He's not gonna do it. He's not gonna do anything.
Threatened
He
to report him for harassment. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Basically, what he's doing there is he's attempting to threaten their online presence, go after their Twitter, their Facebook, their Discord, their YouTube channel, try and shut them out of the public eye is what he's trying to do.
But have you felt like, I know you said you haven't had the most brunt of it because, Fry's had the most of it, but do you feel like a lot of your viewers have turned on you after this incident?
With Police 1013? No.
Yeah.
No. None that I've seen. Absolutely zero that I've seen so far. I was lucky in that, unlike Big Fry, who did have people claim they were unsubbing. Whether they were actually subscribers or not, I have no idea. But yeah, because the thing is with mine is I released 2 videos about Police 1013. The second one was after a very long private discussion I had with Matt Norman. He and I had a very, very long talk, and I thought he was seeing my points. He was agreeing with everything. It seemed like he understood where I was coming from and what I was trying to help get him onto the right path, a good path forward, where people wouldn't hate his guts and where he'd be able to develop the game without pissing people off. And a lot of that was basically could just be boiled down to one single sentence: don't be a dick.
Yeah.
And he's completely incapable of doing that. And I expressed that I did not have a high expectation because I used to be an extremely terrible person, and I know how hard it is to change because I was one of those people that did undergo that change. So I know how monumentally difficult it is, and I didn't have high hopes for him. But I wanted to hold out hope against hope that maybe he would the exception that forms the rule, and maybe he'd be able to put out a good game and turn things around. I'd be able to come back and with a Cinderella story.
Yeah.
That unfortunately that didn't happen. So now I've been working on this gigantic, massive video that will ultimately do my best to serve to inform and remind everyone in the past everything that he's been doing now, and my thoughts on why he might be doing this. And dear God, please avoid this game like the plague.
Yeah. Before I go on to further onto this, Looney, do you have any questions about the whole situation? Like you've been wanting to ask, like any effects or anything?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Do you have any
You kind of
questions?
froze for a
Oh,
second.
sorry. Do you have any questions for Sid about like the whole Police 1013 situation, or just like the whole any situation in general?
I have no questions at the moment, no.
Okay, lady.
Go kick ass.
Another thing I was gonna ask. Sorry, it just like completely escaped my mind. The wine is buzzing my mind. That's why we shouldn't drink. I'm trying to think of what it was. Oh, so do you think this kind of situation? Because like, there's been a few games that have been scams lately. Like, it just seems to be such a common thing nowadays. Like, I didn't want to say this name, but I'm going to. Raw, another scam game. That
Scam game or scam name?
scam game. So Raw.
Game, okay,
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, so Raw was one of those other things, like goes into Kickstarter, tries to get money, nothing to show, but Kickstarter cancelled it, right? Just at the end, I think. Like before
I actually hadn't heard about this.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it's Raw. But like, there's just been so many games there. I'm like, lady, I don't know, and Luna, I don't know if you guys normally play like, lady, you normally stick to Siege, right? Have you guys ever seen a game where you're like, oh, this looks really cool, and you get excited, and then you find out it's just a sham? Have you ever had that experience?
I've had a hype build up for a game, and then when it came out, I was highly disappointed.
Highly disappointed. Was it a game you had to pay a lot of money for?
No, it was free, so that was alright.
See, I have been burned by multiple games in the past few years. Wild West Online, Bless Online, with both games. I've been craving a good RP for so long. And Bless Online was MMO. Bless Online was going to be that for me. And I got it. I couldn't even play it because it was just so fucking awful to get into a server because they just weren't prepared for it. And then I actually returned the game. It was the first. I have a rule. I will play a game for more than 10 hours before I criticize it. I didn't even play it for like an hour or 2 hours when I was like, fuck it. This is ridiculous. This is shit. There's nothing to do. When I finally get in, there's a server restart and I have to leave and then spend another hour to get into it. This Online was an epic fail. And they actually closed down their servers after, a year in play? And all that money gone. People who invested money
right.
and paid and all that gone. $60 a game gone. Wild West Online.
Yep.
Same issue. Paid $60 to go play a game that had fucking nothing to do. No missions. Couldn't even fucking gamble in the West. Wild West. I just want to point out that's like a horrible thing to begin with. Like the only thing that came out of that game was that in fact I made fry from it. He stole my cheese. I was okay with it. It was just a roll of cheese. I needed to wash my waist anyway. But that was like I literally got so bored. I went into the middle of nowhere and I found this tiny little hamlet. And I guess Fry had the same idea as me, that there was fucking nothing to do but ride a horse and hope to find something good. And he met me. I know your life is better now. But like, and that's another game. And I think they actually closed down and reopened as are trying to open as a BR now. Like, it's just I feel like all these AAA games. Exactly. What is up with
Oh
games?
yeah, I know that game.
It's just nothing. Every game has just been disappointment, and even Borderlands 3. Like, it might not have the same scam situation, but it's still scorning to know that they're screwing over content creators like this and their public
Oh
like
yeah.
this. And it's like, it's like there's no trusted games anymore. Sochi Titov, Escape from Tarkov, like there's just no trust in games and developers anymore. That's why whenever I look into a game, the first thing I do is I hit up the developer. I'm like, hey, I want to know your life story. I want to know how you're going to develop this game. How is this? Because I'm not investing any money into any game because I've just been burned so many times. It's like a bad
Well, you know,
relationship.
there are a lot of good games and good developers still out there. The problem is, you know, the crap always rises to the top.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
how it goes. And you know, this, you know, like take Rebel Galaxy Outlaw that just released. That one, you know, those guys. I've talked with those guys offline. God knows how many times. I was really I was pissed off at them that they went Epic exclusive. But you know, even though I was a bit mean to them, they still gave me a key for the game.
Oh, they wanted to change your
And the
mind.
game is fucking awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
You know, and there are plenty of other smaller games that are still extremely worthwhile. The difficulty is, you know, it's one of those things where you have to wade through a cavalcade of crap to be able to find the
Like
good
good
ones.
games, yeah. Like Zero
One
Survival,
game.
yeah. Sorry,
Oh, one game I can advise that's really good.
if you say
Free to play.
Siege, okay. If you say Siege,
No,
though.
it's free to play, and also the developers put their heart and soul into this game, and it's actually getting better and better and better. Is Warframe.
Oh no, that's true.
Mhm.
Warframe is an actual good game. I enjoy
See, a lot
Warframe.
of people constantly ask me to cover Warframe, and I do. You know, it's because I have a videos that I haven't done one on forever. It's called Diamond Devs, where I point out developers that go above and beyond by not only just creating a good game, but acting in a very pro-consumer fashion. You know, they're active and engaged with their communities. They're not pieces of garbage. And you know, Warframe is brought up constantly, but the problem is I want to be able to cover it, but to even be able to get a glimpse of that game, you have to spend a bare minimum of 80 hours.
Yeah,
And
it's true.
I really don't have that time to
You can't
invest.
grind it.
The problem with Warframe is that the learning curve is very harsh. So if you don't
Yeah.
have somebody telling you or explaining to you how to play the game, or watching countless tutorial videos, you actually don't know what the fuck you're doing. It took me like a couple of months to actually start to get into it, and only then did I realize, okay, watching lots of videos on what to do and tutorials did I actually start to understand the game, and at that point you start to enjoy it.
Enjoy it.
So it helps when you have somebody that has a good couple of 100 hours in the game and knows what to do to help you.
Mm.
I
It does
recommend
make it a
Lady.
lot of fun.
She's
Yeah.
helped me
Lady.
that way. I don't know. She's over there on
She's
my screen.
somewhere.
She's somewhere.
So Sid, if you need a tutor, hit up Lady. She'll help you
Yeah.
find your way.
I'll help. I'll
Excellent.
help.
Um, but like I don't know if you've ever played like Zero Survival has always been a game I've preached because it's like whenever someone tells me the developers don't have time to develop the game, I'm like, there's a game that has one developer. I think they've now got a second one, but it has one developer and it has had one of the best early access releases I've seen in so long, and it's Zero Survival and Joshua. Like that is the game I preach. That if you have you ever played it? Is it
So I'm getting Zero Survival. Survival's, I'm gonna guess it's a survival type game.
it's a kind of it's like a PvP PvE game. There's not much. They're adding bits and bits to it, like so. There's events and stuff, and there's like you got to get the loot. But once you get the loot, there's not much to it. But it's still really early making of it. But the reason I like it is because the dev shows every characteristic what I think a dev needs. Is it communicates with the community, he's constantly, even if he doesn't push out a patch, he says he's not doing it. He tries to do it once a week, and it's a small patch, not these huge patches that lead to more mistakes. It's a small patch, and he says, hey, this is releasing, this is what's going to do. And if it doesn't release, he says, hey, this is why it's not releasing. He's constantly talking. And also, when it's released, if there's a problem with it, it's fixed instantly. Like within the hour, it's like hopefully fixed, you know? He's everything a dev is supposed to be. But nowadays, I feel like devs just don't like I'm reviewing a game now, rip. And I was talking to the devs trying to work out what it's like, and they told me they do it part-time. I don't think that's okay. If you want your game to succeed,
Well,
it needs to be your thing, you know?
Well, a lot of them can't work on it full time
Yeah, I get
because you know
that. Yeah, they have lives
bills
and
to pay and
jobs.
mouths
Yeah,
to feed, and yeah.
but
But you know, it's still, if you're going to be building a game, especially if it's going to be in early access, you have to make sure that you're dedicating solid
yeah,
amounts of time to it. And
Mm.
unfortunately, good devs these days seem to be a breed apart. And they seem to be getting rarer and rarer, probably because part of it would be, you know, the lack of visibility and things like that on Steam, to where even good developers making good games sometimes don't get the visibility that they need.
yeah.
Because I know plenty of developers in the, you know, in the Steam Workshop forums and stuff. These developers that have actually made good games that have sold fewer than 200 copies.
It's because they don't have
You
the
know, and
advertising and numbers. Yeah,
yeah, they don't have advertising. You know, when you're looking at like a $5 or $10 game or something kind of basic, but you know, still well crafted, well put together and stuff, and they just don't get any kind of visibility.
mm.
And they don't, you know, they don't have any kind of budgets to work with. You know, a lot of them are, you know, you know, it's kind of like the concept of the one man shop. You know, someone doing that out of their garage. You know,
Mm. No, I agree. If there's one game you would suggest us that is like kind of like the hidden away secret game, what would you say like is a game we should check out?
hidden away secret game. See, it's
Well,
difficult for me to
like a
make a
game,
recommendation like that.
like a game that we should check out that doesn't have that advertising to boost it that way it should
Like
be.
a hidden gem.
Yeah, like what's a gem that
Oh
is
God,
like a diamond
there's
in the rough?
so there are so many. There are so many. A lot of them, you know, the thing is, you know, it depends on genres and stuff like that. I think one my go-to, my automatic go-to for situations like this, when I know there's like 5 or 6 I can think of, I'll just go right back to the very first Diamond dev I ever had in that series. It was Jour Vasseur with Star Drop. Was his
Star,
game.
I've never heard of it.
Star Drop. It was it was one of those things where he actually emailed me, because I did a video discussing, what is an asset flip, what makes a game an asset flip, and things like that. And he actually emailed me after that video asking me, because he was worried. He was really deeply concerned that his game would be labeled an asset flip, because a lot of the assets he used were pre-bought, and
Mm,
he spent some time working on them, textures and lights and stuff like that. But what he did was he took those assets and he actually crafted something with them. He made something with them, that was wholly unique. And it was a very story-driven style game, very very light gameplay elements. Is much more focused on the story, kind of like you're. I hesitate to say walking simulator, but not too dissimilar from that. Voice acted and well done with the voice acting. And he spent a lot of time and effort on the game, and he from what I've seen, there hasn't really been any form of advertising for that game. And I loved it. Everything
mm.
that I played of it was great.
So Star Drop, I'll definitely check that out. Sounds like a good game. So guys, we're gonna actually take a break because we hit an hour. Oh my god! So we're gonna be definitely jumping into our final topic. Sid, like I said, if you would like to join, we would like to get another perspective on the topic. But if anyone knows, I was in my first Twitter war. I'm officially a tweeter. So we're gonna be covering that, and it does involve porn. So guys, if you want to be a part of that, stick around. But we'll be back in 10 minutes. See you guys soon. Wait, where's the mouse? There it is. Where's the be right back? Oh my god.
Where's all the things?
Where's everything? No, seriously, guys.
Add hotkeys until you get a stream deck, trust me.
Right. Okay, guys, we'll be right back. Guys, I just want to point out, like I said, it was super awesome having City. It was great to get his perspective, as firstly, he was very involved. Well, apparently not as involved as I thought he was with the 1013, as he didn't get the brunt of any of it. But no, he had a lot of insight. If you guys want to go check out Luna, do you mind posting that link one more time for his YouTube and sub to him? He covers a lot of these things. And like I said, what I love about his videos is he tries to show understanding about the topic instead of pushing his opinion on it. So you get to get your own opinion on it. So he tells you what the facts, and then you can see if you want to agree with him or not. He pushes the understanding more than anything. So guys, like I mentioned earlier, I feel like I'm an official tweeter. So if you guys don't know, I don't know if you guys follow me on Twitter, Luna Lady, but I don't know Twitter that well, and I don't know how to tweet. I really suck at it. I don't understand it. The notifications are all wishy-washy. Half of them don't even revolve around me.
Don't worry.
So I'm scrolling through. There's like a few people that I look out for on Twitter that post, and I'm like, okay, cool. And one of those people is Legend. He's one of my viewers. He's also a dear friend of ours. And I saw him post something, and I thought it was really interesting. So this is the tweet. And it's this girl named Brittany Venti. So she's a D live streamer. And she posted this tweet that says, examples, I will not date someone who smokes cigarettes, can name more than 3 porn stars, meme ones not included, watches porn while in a relationship, cannot see more than 4 times a week, is not on the level, i.e. liberal. Okay. So she's trying to say that her next relationship, these are the criterias. Which I totally understand. Like, I used to have a list, when I was a little younger. I was like, oh, you got to be adventurous and all that stuff. But then when I got older, I realized, like, that stuff doesn't mean anything. It's not important. What's important was, and what was my response was, I get looking for certain traits in a relationship, but this is a bit much. If watching porn is a negative in your relationship, it will never last. You should be looking for someone who treats you right, is your best friend, and is the strength to your weakness, and vice versa. That's what I thought was more important. And honestly, I don't see an issue with porn. As long as porn is not every day of their mind, like on their mind 24/7, and it's not something in their life every day, then I don't see a problem with it. But apparently a lot of people do. Apparently people think it's cheating. I don't know. So anyway, I posted this and she retweeted my retweet saying, which I thought was really funny, pictured a woman who lowered her standards to be with a porn addict male.
Damn.
Minnie's mic is off.
My mic is off? Oh no, I wasn't saying anything. I was just
Oh,
just like,
I
yeah.
saw movement and I thought the mic was off. Sorry.
So I read this and I laughed my ass off because firstly, that wasn't my point. My point was to find someone who treats you well and is the strength to your weakness and you're the strength to theirs. But apparently that means I lowered my standards and married a porn addict. What do you guys think? Like, I just didn't think I felt her response was very extreme.
She's just looking for cuck.
Oh god. That's some corny stuff she said. Hey.
Even the doggo agrees.
Even the dog agrees. The dog is going crazy. I'm gonna see if someone's at my door. You guys discuss while I go check out what the heck's happening.
I'm just reading like the replies and I'm like, what?
No. I don't think that's cool, honestly.
Someone says, if I'm jerking off to your Twitter profile pic right now, does it make it porn?
Well, that's a nice.
Oh no, that's too good.
Scroll up.
Luckily, my boyfriend stopped before we even started dating, so I don't have to worry about it.
I call BS. I call BS on that.
Is Machine commenting now?
Yeah, he is. Because I'm reading the comments on the retweet that she made of your status.
Yeah,
of your comment.
Yeah. So I honestly, I got a little, I went immature. I did. I got a little sarcastic, and I responded. she's right. I married my best friend who kisses me goodnight even if we fought, who builds me up and I bring myself down, understands and helps me with my mental health and brings me tacos at 1 a.m. Gosh, why did I lower my standards? I should have stayed with them douchebags. So I got a little sarcastic. And then I tweeted her again. And I actually invited her. I wanted to understand. Like, that's my, like, I always tell myself, when there's something I instantly don't agree with, I still need to work to try and understand it and understand what they're trying to say before I give my firm opinion. But she never responded at all.
I don't think.
She won't, because in my opinion, I'm like, she's all talking tough on Twitter, but if I ask her to come face to face and talk to me about it, I guess it'll fall away. I don't know, because she doesn't have the power. I don't know. It's kind of like that Taylor Swift "You Need to Calm Down" song. It's like, you know, if you say it in the street, it's a knockout. You say it in a tweet, it's like, you know. So I feel like, I don't know,
Yeah.
but she never responded. But she just kept posting this stuff about porn, and some of viewers agreeing. They're like, "Oh yeah, it's cheating." And one girl was like, "Yeah, thank God my boyfriend stopped watching it before we started a relationship." I'm like, firstly, honey, I don't think he did. I don't think he did. Me, I've never watched porn. It's not something I've ever watched. It's not. I was never comfortable with sexual stuff. Like, even in high school, like, I dated a guy for a very long time. I never did anything with him. I waited until I was 21 before I felt comfortable enough doing anything further than making out. But that's just me. But if Badger, my husband, decides to watch porn and I'm gone for a really long time, I don't mind. Like, it's not like he's doing it in front of me. It's not like he's doing it every day. It's not like he has a choice between being with me and porn and he chooses porn. That's a different story. This is like, I just don't see it as an issue. Do you guys see it as an issue?
I don't like it personally.
You don't like porn?
Yes, I don't like porn.
I'm
and
actually
I
glad
don't
you
like
said
my
that.
husband watching.
No, I'm glad you said that
Either.
because I really want to understand. Like, I want to discuss this. So, what is it that makes, like, what is the issue? Like, not issue with it, but like, what makes you uncomfortable about it?
I don't like it. Well, I don't like him watching because it makes me feel shit about myself.
Fair enough. Like, kind of like I've had that moment before. Like, I'm like, oh, but what happens if he compares me to that? You know, I get that
Am I not
feeling.
enough?
Am I not enough?
Is he
Yeah.
wanting something more? Is he wanting something else? Do you
Yeah.
have other sort of
Fantasies that you can't
fetishes?
perform.
You know,
Yeah.
that I don't like it.
No,
I don't want
get
him
that.
looking at another female that way,
Okay.
even if it's in a video.
But do you consider it cheating if he did?
No.
So you want to go that extreme with it? Okay. But it just makes you. Have you guys discussed that before? Like, have you said this?
Yes,
Okay.
we've
You've
had
discussed.
words.
We've had words.
We've had words.
What about you, lady? How do you feel about it?
I'm actually, like, funny enough, I'm like on the same path as Luna, because
Okay.
at one point, like, I don't know how comfortable he is
Fine, go ahead.
about
No, it's
talking
fine.
this,
No,
because
talk.
it's him, not me.
Talk. Yeah.
Like, he had a lot of porn on his, like, a lot, and I actually made him delete.
I just see Machine's face.
I'm trying to think. No, I'm just trying to remember that. I don't remember that.
You guys can't see the Machine's behind the sign. He just like
He's
This was
He's just
when
like-
we moved in. It was like
Yeah,
7.
but it was like a
8
long,
years
long,
ago.
long time ago.
a long time ago.
Yeah. Like, I made you delete everything.
Well, there wasn't really a point in having it.
No.
Oh.
No.
Because it's like,
It's not
why
good.
do you need to watch other women? I'm here.
You see, but the thing is, for
Exactly.
me, I'm not. I'm gone
But you're
for
not
like
always-
weeks or months.
You're not always here. You know what I mean?
You see me every
You're
day.
normally gone at the store for 10 minutes, honey. I can't handle it. No, you see, for my
10 minutes.
situation, it's like I've been gone for 3 months before.
Mm.
You see, for me, that's why I don't see it as an issue. Like, it's not like he doesn't love me. It's not like he chooses porn over me. You know, it's like kind of those moments he wakes up. You know, he needs a little help. I'm not gonna expect him to sit with blue balls for 3 months. You know, like, so I feel like
He can
maybe
have some photos. Some photos.
you know, like, it's not like we don't have, you know, sexual interactions. Like, we talk, we text, you know, all that stuff. But like, if he needs a little help, I don't see an issue with it. It's not like he does it in front of me. It's not like he does it in the room next to me, you know. I just don't see it's like I don't see it as a cheating. I don't see it as an issue. Like, for instance, like, there's not like sometimes I'll watch a movie and I'll see a really good looking chap walk in, take a shirt. I'm like,
But
good
that's
looking.
different.
But like, doesn't it arouse you in some way? And then like, isn't that the same for a guy when he sees? It's like, that's a good looking girl. I mean, you know.
Actually,
But
Actually,
that's
I actually
not.
like to interject in that. Can I?
Yeah.
Can I say something?
You want me to turn the? Can I turn the
Oh,
camera? Can I
It's
turn the
just
camera on for you then?
Yeah, welcome to. Yeah, welcome
Oh,
to.
here
There we
we
go.
go.
Machine's our guest, guys.
Yeah, sorry. No, I want to bring up the psychological differences. Let me just pause my video I'm watching. Um, watching motorcycle videos. Sorry. Um, there's a psychological difference between men and women. It's very jarring. Men are very visual creatures, and they work on their base instincts, which is basically TNA. Basically, we're very mechanical. That's how that we function.
Yeah.
Women are more require more finesse, and if that's why, like, and I'm sure all of you can say the same thing, that a woman, when they want to feel aroused, they're not going to go look for dongs. They're not going to go look for dick
It's
pics.
nasty. That's nasty
You know what I
looking.
mean?
Yeah. It's
No, I'm
unappealing
just
to
saying,
me.
but that's how a man works, like on base mechanical function. But
Yeah.
women are different. It's much more. It's more like a chiseled chest or a good looking, chin line, all that stuff,
Jaw,
and
going.
good looks, all that stuff.
Can I just
Yeah,
interrupt one
and
really quickly? Your lady's mic is
Oh
picking
yeah,
up as
yeah.
well.
Turn one with my. I think turn off your mic machine and then use Luna's mic. Lady's mic.
Let me jump over.
and grab her mic. So, oh my god, see, there's no point. So what I was saying is, so like men and women are different and aroused by different things. So that's why you can say that that's what you sort of what gets you off in a way, not in that way. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
Yeah.
like a woman will be aroused by a completely different thing that a man won't be aroused by. It's more subtle,
Sensual.
there's more finesse with it when it comes
Yeah.
to how a woman's mind works.
We're all differently
See,
wired.
like if I
Yeah.
see
And
an
everyone's
attractive man, I don't get aroused. It's more like the idea of thinking like them like kissing me on the neck or touching me, like or my husband, like I think more about the full play than anything. That gets me. It's not like I don't look at
Yeah.
like a dick pic. I'm like, I'm ready to go. It's more like, oh my god, that's nasty. No,
Yeah.
stop.
That's
no.
why that's the critical differences between men and women. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. What Ziggy says is true.
Full play.
Full
Full
play
play is super
yeah.
important. It is.
Yeah.
Any guys out there, just so you know, we love full play.
Never skip it.
Never skip it. Don't. And if it's under like 2 minutes, dude, you're not doing it right.
It's true.
So,
That's
but,
right.
but lady, you don't see him watch. If like, let's say you found Machine watching porn, like, or Luna, you came and you saw your husband watching porn. Would you get upset like instantly, or like?
I wouldn't mind if I got invited to watch as well.
Oh, okay.
But if he was kind of watching behind my back almost, I would
Yeah.
be very upset.
Because then you like, I get that because you'll feel like you're not adequate enough, or there's something lacking that he's looking somewhere else for.
Yeah.
Okay. No, you see, I get that. Like I said, like it's not like I'm around and he does it. It's more like when I'm gone for 3 months, then I'm like, I gotta, I'm not gonna tell him no. Sit on your balls and wait. That's a little mean.
I was gone for quite a while as well.
Yeah. Lady, how about you? If you walked in and Machine was searching off Pornhub.
What are you doing?
Ja, man! Oh!
Is lap.
Ik wil donder jou!
I'm just laughing at her. Yeah.
What it hits close to home, huh?
Really?
What are you doing? Turn that off!
That's
Here
not-
I am!
That's never happened.
Wait, it
I
is
don't
an
know.
awful.
I don't know how I would react. I don't know. I guess I'll never know though. I don't know unless you like surprise me.
Machine's like, I want to perform a science experiment now. What would happen? You see, for me,
Find one of
just
those really old Ron Jeremy films from like the 80s or something.
Oh, you see, me, I'd be like, getting any good ideas? Is there anything you want to try? No? Okay, cool. You want to switch over? I don't know.
You could have invited me.
Yeah.
No.
See, I don't know if I
I
could
think it's-
watch it, though. Like, I don't think I can watch
but
it.
I think with couples and understanding that concept, it's communication is key
Mm.
Yeah.
because it's very important for like especially to avoid conflict in that manner. Like you go, oh, what is he like? What is he doesn't like? Is he watching because there's something that I don't know type of thing and all that jazz. Um, communication is key. Like everyone's different, so it's very important to communicate with your partner and all that stuff to avoid those kind of awkward and weird conflicts. Yeah.
Situations.
So it's very important that you can be open with each other, especially if you like certain things.
Yeah.
Mm.
Certain fetishes.
Like Ninja just
Yeah,
said,
'cause
like if you have fetishes, you got to be honest about it. Like your relationship has to be open and honest if you guys want to feel comfortable with each other. And I think that's what bugged me the most is when she said that you can't have porn in a relationship. In my mind, I was like, you're making them hide. You're making them feel uncomfortable and not being honest with what they want or what I don't know. That's just my opinion. I felt like you were kind of like suppressing them. Yeah, like forcing them not to be open and honest about like something.
It's one thing like telling somebody this is how I feel, but it's another thing when you take away something that they actually
You
might
know,
actually
enjoy.
enjoy. 'Cause
Yeah,
like this whole thing for me is I don't see anything wrong with it. I just don't think that people should be shamed for enjoying it. I mean,
exactly.
And
Yeah,
and also there's trying to understand the psychology of men because I guess it would be weird if it was a lady, but anyways, but the psychology of men is like I said, the nature of it is just mechanical. It's sort of just because men are more visual than women as well. You can't really view it as doesn't my partner prefer something like another woman because that's usually not the case.
yeah,
You know what I mean? They'll always prefer to be unless they're really messed up. They'll always prefer to be physically with their partner, and when they're physically with their partner, they'll be in the moment. They won't be thinking about the porno stuff. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
It's more
They'll be
connection for us.
yeah, and but also for men as well. For me, like when I'm with lady, I get very emotional. You
Aww.
know, but
Well,
if
we
I was
hope.
alone, I wouldn't be because that
Yeah.
the alone time is just base just
You see that's
bodily
yeah.
needs.
it's just
No,
a
exactly.
it's just a bodily
It's
function
a
in
natural
the
function
end.
to me. Like
So you can't yeah like
it's
This thing
natural.
won't go away. What do I
Neither
do with
it's like I keep smacking it, nothing's happening. No, like whack-a-mole here. No, but I agree. It's a natural thing. Like that's why I say it's not
Yeah, but
cheating.
not,
I
now,
love to film.
but that's getting onto a different topic though. That what Rasheen is like saying now, that's not quite the same as just watching porn. That's going into more masturbation,
You see, I feel like
which
for
I don't,
men,
But
I don't mind
who
for at
just watches
all.
it just for the sake of watching
no,
it?
see that's weird.
I
If someone
don't
just
know.
sits there and just grabs, oh honey, I'm just gonna grab a beer and popcorn and watch this porn movie. Oh, he brought the
I
pizza,
don't
but
know.
little does he know it's
Do-
not just the pizza.
Do
she
people actually watch it
wants.
for the entertainment value?
Oh God,
Maybe.
I hope
bad
no.
storyline?
Yeah, I don't know.
I
Oh,
don't
I'm
don't understand these people.
I'm
I'm
gonna
sorry.
tell you. I'm gonna once before I was married, I watched one, but I skipped past one of the naughty scenes. It was a pirates. It was a Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was like, it was on late, and I was like, "Ugh, I don't know what this is, Luna. So it's like, oh, it's one of
Subjects.
those movies. Let's just fast forward all that crap. Okay, so I had about 15 minutes of actual story, which wasn't that bad.
That's
So you skipped the
a
other
fair amount,
hour
I
and just watched
guess.
the last 15 minutes. No, but like for me, it's like this. I don't mind if he does because, like Machine said, it's not emotional. It's literally like he said, men are visual. He's trying to just get it off. He's trying to, he needs something a little more visual. It's fine. It's not like he's emotionally attached to this person. It's not like something he does every day. It's I just don't see an issue with it. And the fact that this girl comes and tells me the fact that I don't look at it as an issue, but I look at more about the way they treat me as an issue, that makes my husband a porn addict is kind of extreme. Like, just because someone
Yeah.
watches porn doesn't mean they're an addict. And just because someone watches porn doesn't mean they need to be shamed. There's nothing wrong. Like, I'm not a sexual. This is probably the most honest I've ever been. It's probably because I've had a lot of wine and lack of sleep. Like, I can never say the word penis, like, for a really long time because I just found that stuff gross. It's only now that I feel more comfortable because I'm in a relationship that I feel comfortable and I'm with people I feel comfortable with. And also because I feel like it's so important because for my whole life, I was brought up saying it's a no-no subject. It's not okay. It's just not. And I feel like it's not okay because we are humans. We feel the urge. We want that connection. It's okay to feel aroused, but apparently it's not. Society makes it a bad thing, and porn is there for aroused men to beat the bat. I don't. I just don't see any problem with it. Like, as long as it's not intercepting in my relationship, as long as it's not dominating my relationship, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Because I know
How do
you
you
and
feel?
Lady are different.
Because ladies just like mini May, ladies just like you in terms of the way you describe yourself. Like, yeah,
I am.
you are. Yeah.
No, like I
Okay.
couldn't do that stuff. Like, I would not think of sex. I would not touch it because like it just creeped me out. Firstly, I was so scared to fall pregnant. Like, I grew up in an Afrikaans family. If I fell pregnant, oof, I would have been the worst. So I just stayed away from it, and I had just bad child traumas. So I never said until I was 21, and I met a guy that I had known for 2 years that I really felt comfortable with. That's when I did it. Even after that, I waited another year or two because I still felt uncomfortable with it. Like, it's just never been a thing. But it doesn't mean that I judge other people. If they like it, I'm not gonna judge them for it. Just because I'm uncomfortable within my personal life doesn't mean I'm gonna make people feel uncomfortable because they don't like it. That's just me though.
Basically.
For the record, gay porn is way better than straight porn. Gay porn, oh my
Yeah,
god.
we won't get on that topic.
See, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't watch porn with him. That's one thing I couldn't do. No. That's where I draw my line. I'm okay with him doing it, but I won't do it.
Siggy, that's your thing. It's okay. That's fine. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. The point is
Still love you.
there's nothing wrong with watching porn. There's nothing wrong with liking girls or liking boys or liking horses or liking pigs.
Oh, no.
Yeah, there is
No.
something wrong with that last bit there.
I don't mean in a sexual manner. I'm just trying to say, like, if you have your preferences in terms of sexuality, that's fine. As long as you're not hurting anybody, that's fine.
Or hurting
You
your
shouldn't
social
be
life, yeah.
shamed. You shouldn't be shamed for who you are.
Exactly. And that's what, like, that was my main point. Like, I wasn't saying that porn is like the main thing. Like, my point is it's not. My point is when you're looking for a relationship, it's okay to have a list. It's okay to say, like, preferably I don't want someone who smokes. Preferably I want someone who doesn't want to watch porn because I'm there. But saying that someone can't do those things before you even meet them or get in a relationship with them, I just think that's a little just like unrealistic. Because firstly, you have a chance of missing someone great for you. For instance, when I met my husband, I had a list. He is nothing that was on my list. He was the opposite to my list. He was nothing that I wanted, but when I met him, I realized something. He was what I've been needing. He was like, he gave me a backbone. He made me see the fault, like, work not he didn't see I didn't see faults in myself, but the faults that I saw in myself, he made me realize they weren't faults. And he made me feel stronger. He made me like, I've had relationships where I opened up on my mental disabilities. They never spoke to me again. I've had guys where I went through a depression, they left me. I've had him, he's gone through my depression, he understands my mental disabilities. He has been through thick and thin with me, and he is someone that is a strength to my weakness. He fills my gaps and I fill his. And that is what I thought was more important. And I never realized that 5 years ago. And my point in that tweet was more to say, don't look for someone to check off a list. That's just not going to work. Find someone who makes you comfortable for who you are. And that list is not allowing someone to be comfortable with who they are. That was just my point at the end. Little sloppy emotional thing there about relationships. I'm done. You guys
I
go.
don't think I don't think people like that chick that's attacking you, can really formulate an opinion on what a preferred relationship is if they don't really know what real love is in the first place.
Exactly. And
I
I've been
think-
told she's never had a good relationship. Apparently, her
Well-
exes are batshit. Like, they're just not stable.
Well, who is she to judge in the first place? I mean, if you don't speak of experience, you've got fuck all. So I'm sorry, but I mean, she must get off her high horse and
Mhm.
actually be more grounded and more fucking. What's the word I'm looking?
Open-minded.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
instead
And
of
humble.
judging, more
Yeah.
humble. Instead of judging people for their preference in men just because somebody likes porn, it's like saying you're satanic because you like metal. You shouldn't be
Yeah.
with that person. It's the same thing. I mean, like.
Yeah.
21st
Yeah.
century. Fucking where are you?
Not here. No, but I'm actually glad that you guys were on the other side because I really just want to understand, like, and like Luna, you painted it for me. Like, I do understand that having a significant other that watches porn, it kind of does put that mentality where, like, am I being prepared to it? Do I have different expectations? Do they think about that when they're with me? Like, I understand that. Is that what you?
That's also more towards my insecurities as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
I mean, I would be very upset.
yeah.
To be honest, everyone's got those.
Yeah, everyone's got into.
Yeah.
I hadn't like the thing is like I'm not saying it was easy for me. Like I knew when I found out he watched porn. Like I asked him about when we started dating. It wasn't straight away. It wasn't like the first day. So you watch porn? It was like after like a couple months where I felt comfortable. I was like, I discovered he was watching porn, and I messaged him. And that was like when I was away for a week. I came back. I was only home for the weekend. So like for like 5 days I was gone. You know. And I asked him like, hey, you know, why do you watch it? I just want to understand it. Like, do you like? I was open about it. I was like, it doesn't make me fully comfortable because I do feel like you're going to compare me to these girls that I'm never going to be. I'm not going to have that sexy six abs, big boobs, and big breasts, you know. And he
Which
told
are
me,
often fake.
which are often fake. But he told me it's like it's not. I don't really look at the girls. It's more just the arousal moment I use. And I'm like, okay, I get that. And then obviously we had more discussion about it, you know. And then we discussed, oh, do you want to watch it? I was like, no. But you know, if you see anything, I don't know, I can try it. But just so you know, I'm clumsy as fuck, and it probably won't work out. But I just like after we discussed it and had an open communication about it, the insecurities were kind of like they're still there slightly. Where I'm like, oh, you know, I'm never gonna be like that. But at the same time, I felt more comfortable knowing that we had open, honest discussion about it. And Luna, you've had that with your husband, right? You've discussed it. That's why you're in a good place to have that, you know, opinion because it's something you discuss. And when I discuss it, I still have it, but I feel better about it, and I'm okay with it as long as it's not something that he chooses over me. You know, so it's just nice to know, like, understanding and seeing it's not like cheating in your mind because I just never understood that. That's one thing I
No.
just don't understand. It's not an emotional thing to me. I don't understand how it can be cheating. For me, cheating is more like if it was physically there. If he actually put his dick in someone else, that is cheating for me. If he was having emotional conversation with someone else, that is cheating for me. And yes,
Yeah.
I find emotional cheating. It's cheating. If you're finding
Oh,
someone
yeah.
else to confide in, that's cheating to me. Because it means I'm not that person for you. And I don't want to be in a relationship with someone that doesn't see me as that person, their person. If you're my person and I'm not yours, then it's not going to work. What?
I agree with you
Sorry.
there 100%. I'm like, yeah, preach it.
Drinking
Preach it.
straight from
Oh, he's drinking all the coke? Damn,
the,
machine.
straight from the bottle.
Oh,
It's
I do that all
embarrassing me.
the time. I
It's the
drink
last
from the
bit,
milk. No,
so
I drink from the milk
I was like,
carton.
I'm not gonna dirty a glass for that last bit of coke in the bottle. I'm just gonna
Exactly,
grab
because
the whole
dishes
bottle.
suck. Okay,
Yeah,
so previously girlfriend. Except that, yeah, it's fine. You think so? I'm just catching up to you. Great. Watching all my friends and family, and I go around kids and remember why I don't have any. Yeah, I don't want kids. Not yet. I'm not ready for kids. I work with kids. I'm just not ready for it. I had to wipe shit off the wall and ceiling the other day. I'm just not ready for that.
Sounds like fun.
sorry.
I can't wait.
Can't wait. No, but like I understand the joys of kids. Like there's two little boys that I helped raise for 4 years, and they're all my life. Like I love them like little brothers. But I don't know if I'm ready. I can't even take care of myself and my husband. I can't take care of a little one. Not yet. There's no mini May yet. Not yet. But yeah, so I just wanted to get that discussion. I thought it was an interesting topic, and now I feel a little more comfortable. But yeah, do you guys agree though that she was a little drastic though with her retweet?
That was, yeah, I
Yeah.
do agree. That was very, I was very melodramatic.
Right?
That's just
but that's
looking for
her.
cuck.
No, but that's her because I read her other tweets, and I was just like, she seems very extreme and narrow-minded. Like if someone doesn't agree with her opinion, she blasts them for it. And I was like, I can't be like that. I need to understand. And I really do wish she came on and I could talk to her about it, you know. But hey, it's fine. It's all good. But
I just wouldn't even give that person the time of day if they're gonna be like that and be like, okay.
can you
goodbye."
imagine as we start the conversation? How's your porn addict husband? Bye.
Bye, Felicia.
Felicia. Oh God. But yeah, is there anything other topics you guys want to you thought about you want to talk about before we end the show? We'll see.
No, I don't think so.
Don't think so.
Secure is less. Oh, was it 20%? Yes, secure is less 20%.
Guys, Lynn is going on a shopping spree. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for joining. Like I said, it was really awesome having SidAlpha in. He talked about the Borderlands 3 debacle and Police 1013 and Maxwell getting his tits in a twist over content creators. And I think we all did agree that content creators cannot be responsible for viewers, what they do outside of their chat. Because we honestly do not have power for you guys, you know? And obviously we discussed the full thing. So guys, thank you so much for watching. We were live for an hour and 40 minutes. Holy crap. Oh shit, I forgot to record again. I download it.
Well.
Oh well.
Yeah.
So video will be up probably Saturday because I have to download it. But yeah, guys, thanks so much for being part of the chat and the conversation. And it will be up on Saturday if anyone just joined in too late. Once again, guys, I'm Minnie May. You guys can catch me on this channel. I won't be here until next week Tuesday though. So I will see you then.
Yeah. So I guess it's me next. So I'm Luna. You can find me on my channel as well. I'll be there maybe tomorrow and all of next week. And the week after, and the week after, and the week
All
after
day,
that.
every day. Running
week
over
after
goats
that,
and
and-
everything.
Yeah.
Killing all the things.
Killing all the things. Poking everything in the butt.
And I'm Lady Battery. I stream with this man that
Oh,
pokes his head in every now and then. I think we're gonna be back next week. We're
Yay!
working on it. Working on it. We'll be back next week on Twitch, and we're gonna be doing lots of things.
That's exciting. We're good to see you guys again. So yeah, guys, I just posted the links for their respective channels. Niru is not here right now; she's busy. So I did post a link though, but she'll be hopefully be back next week. And remember, guys, please join our Discord. If you guys have any topics you would love us to discuss, post about it. I need to sneeze so badly, so I'm trying to finish this up. So if you guys have any topics for us, post about it. If you guys want to talk with us or find out more information about us, you can join the Discord or follow us on Twitch. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Over the hills and far from her, she's waiting for love to be realized. I'll send her my heart.